On Sunday last week, the 3rd of August 2025, I shared with you my personal life concerning the marriage that I had initiated with a woman, which did not succeed. And I said it is not a divorce because I did not live with that woman. I returned her to her father's house within a period in which our culture allows, when there are serious irregularities that are found in the person you are talking about, you can return her to her father's house and she cannot be regarded as somebody that you have married and divorced, especially when you realize that the devil had crept into your life using that person. I've just decided to share with you a few scriptures, but before I do that, I want to jog your memory concerning where we are coming from. I saw and I've heard and I've received comments from different people who are saying that there are threats on social media to destroy Jesus Revelation Ministries. But I want you to know that it is impossible for anyone, and for a woman in particular, to destroy this work that I have started. Those are called delusions, and they are also called illusions. Jesus Revelation Ministries was attacked by the state, the government of Zimbabwe. Jesus Revelation Ministries was attacked by ZANU-PF with state security machinery. At one point, I was being hunted by 20 vehicles in Harare. Government ministers, vice presidents, deputy ministers, spokespersons in the president's office, they threatened to kill me. They threatened to put me into trouble, to stop the work I am doing. It is a self-defeating exercise for a person who is a woman by virtue of her having spent a night with me in the marriage institution, to suggest that she can hire social media hooligans to destroy this ministry. I dare them. I dare them. I once told you believers that I didn't fall into prominence in such a situation that I ended up being a public figure, and that I couldn't have been raised and groomed to be careful when I'm dealing with women. Listen to me, believers. My personal integrity is not something that can be questioned. In innuendos, sarcasm, and jest, accusations, especially from a woman, do not need to require you to speak with a hidden language if you are sure that you know what you are saying and what you are doing. In this life, men have been destroyed by women several times. But I can assure you, I will not be one of them. No, it cannot happen. I explained to you on Sunday how I met with this woman, and I've seen a lot of criticism. Some were saying, why did we have to use elder women in our church to identify a girl that I could marry after spending almost 5 years alone, having lost my first wife? In this life, we don't seek to do things to make sure that everybody in this life, in this world, okays what we have done. If you tell somebody that I had a headache, I took a glass of water, they will criticize you for not going to the pharmacy. If you tell them that you went to the pharmacy, they will criticize you for being weak. Eventually, you simply need to deal with your headache and not consider that you might have something that the whole world will say you did the right thing. Everyone's actions can be criticized, and criticism is healthy in a progressive society. We grow by criticism. This is why we don't take up arms against critics. We love criticism. Actually, we are the only church in Zimbabwe where those who leave our church freely criticize our church, attack us, insult us every day, knowing very well that nothing harmful will come to them. The reason why they insult and prate and insinuate and slander and allege every day falsely, they bank on our holiness. They are very sure that they can say, Chiwenga's head is like a broken and a smashed pawpaw, and nothing will happen to them. We don't see that as a weakness. We see that as a sign of holiness. Now, if I had decided to do it myself and said, well, I was not in Zimbabwe, and being absent from my hometown means that I might not have been able to meet someone by myself, because you can't meet someone if you are not moving. Pastor Regui, how do you expect a man like me to find a woman? Where would I meet her? Tosangana kupi. So what I would do then was to propose love to any random woman. And if one woman would come up and say, Apostle Chiwenga proposed love to me, and I said no. The very same people are criticizing me today would have been saying, he goes around. Vanofamba vachipfimba vana vevanhu. I considered that very well and decided that I will not go out randomly and meet a person randomly and say, I want to propose love to you. All right? Secondly, the mechanisms we have in our church that protect our children, particularly the girl child, they were not imposed by the government. They are my initiative. I am the one who set up the youth department. and appointed a youth pastor. I'm the one who designed a policy where the youth pastor does not work alone. He works with youth advisors who are married men and married women. I'm the one who created the Women's Council so that we may deal with rehabilitation, grooming, the counseling, and modeling of our children, and encouraged our daughters to confide in our elderly women as instructed in Titus chapter 2, verse 1 to 4. I am the one who appointed advisors. Generally, we have advisors who are not necessarily advisors for youth. If you want an advisor, you can go to an advisor. If you want to go to the men's council, you can go to the men's council. We have the ladies' fellowship, and then we have the men's fellowship. To protect our children. How does it make sense to you that after creating such institutions where our children are free to seek advice, to be guided, to be instructed in manners to do with godliness, how does that make sense to you that I would go to the same people and start abusing our girl children? As I speak to you right now, I don't have any advisor's number in our church who I talk to, except 2 ladies who were close to me by virtue of the initial stages of those developments where we were establishing structures in our church, so that when parents are releasing their children to come to church, they are comfortable that their children will not be put to harm. Those children are always free to approach any advisor of their choice and speak to them concerning matters that are affecting their lives. We rescue children in our church that are being abused by their parents. We have a girl who was sexually abused by a father right now.
Yes.
We rescue children in our church. Sometimes we carry the burden of asking the pastors to take in those children into their homes because we don't have institutions right now that can accommodate children when such situations arise. But those plans are in the pipeline. Resources permitting, we shall have them. Structures that are rescue centers for distressed people, including children. There was a time a few years ago when a child came to us and lied that she had been sexually abused by a father. Out of our money, we hired a lawyer, sent the lawyer and the girl, we sent the girl to the hospital, sent the lawyer to the hospital to figure out. The father was a politician who works in the military, in the security cluster of our nation. We didn't want trouble. She is our child. The parent is not a believer. She comes with an allegation. We asked the lawyer, please make proper consultations to find out what has happened. Until the lawyer said, this girl is not telling the truth. She wants to come to our Pastor Baloy's house, and then Pastor Baloy would then send her to my house, and then trouble would brew. It was later revealed that she has done that before to another person, lying that her father had abused her. And what we did is we sat down with the parents, told them that, put your child in order. This is not normal. So the child went back. Was she not a university student, Pastor?
She was.
She was going to university.
Yes.
This is not a 16-year-old child. She was going to university.
Yes.
So those are the struggles we face every day. We have been facing traps to destroy us from all sorts of directions. It must be understood that this work is greater than an individual.
Oh, yes. Yes.
If you believe that you can destroy Jesus' Revelation Ministries, you are drinking, smoking, or snorting something. Because what the word church means, it means people who believe.
Yes.
What are you going to say to Pastor Erengwi to remove her from what she has believed if you are not a preacher? Some of you are now able to write and analyze scriptures and criticize my message because of how I trained you to do so. I trained you to analyze the scriptures. Now you are analyzing my sermons and finding some faults. If there was no evil spirit in you before you criticized me, like a grateful student, you should have said, I want to pay my due benevolence, my due honor to my master, who trained me that you can't preach without scriptures, and the scriptures are not cited in isolation. So we welcome critics. We love criticism. It's healthy. We have never discouraged criticism, but you shouldn't stop us or expect us to not respond and say, if you love criticism, then why are you responding? We want you to straighten out your argument. We have a right to respond. You can't shut us down. Remember, now if a woman who was married goes public to speak about a marriage, whose fault is that? Is it the husband's fault? Or is the parents' fault? Pastor, how am I responsible for the character of a woman that I stayed with for 2.5 months?
The parents are responsible, am I? You can't be responsible for the characteristic of a person whom you did not grow up.
If my daughter gets married to Lorraine,
Yes.
and her husband brings her home, it is my job to make sure that in my daughter's tantrums, she won't destroy my reputation.
Oh, yes.
Because if a child misbehaves, the blame also goes to the parents.
Yes.
If anything, the public indecency is evidence that I made the right decision. Pastor, you can't ask me now, why did you send this woman home? There's evidence now on social media.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So to believers all over the world, we must be able to feel comfortable and not riled up or offended by criticism. It's healthy in any discourse. Academically, it's healthy. Politically, it's healthy. Even doctrinally, it is healthy. The Bible requires us to be able, at all material times, to answer anything that we are asked concerning sound doctrine. But sanctify the Lord God in your hearts, and be ready always. I'm reading 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 15.
Yes.
Sanctify the Lord God in your hearts,
And be ready
and
always.
be ready always to give an answer to every man that asks you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. So we are required to be ready, Brethren Charity. We are required to be ready to answer. You understand? Any question concerning our faith, we must be ready.
Yes.
So if you have doctrinal questions, whether you call them criticisms or you call them corrections, we are ready to answer them.
Yes.
We are ready at any given time. But when you find men who hate Apostle Chiwenga joining madness in a woman who is basically trying to settle a score because of the denigration of the marriage rights and benefits that she was getting, then you also realize that that's a problem. That's a problem. We now have a situation where we now have hooligans for hire. You already hate somebody, but you are now running out of reasons why you should continue hating. As soon as you find another person who hates the first person, you resume and you resuscitate your unending attacks towards that person. But what surprises me, believers, and those who follow me, those who don't like me, what surprises me are two things. The first issue is that there is nobody who tells the truth among those who accuse Apostle Chiwenga. They concoct lies. And then they say they are defending God. Is there any lying in God? No. Jesus Revelation Ministries was born on the 2nd of February, 2014. I had been preaching for a year before that. It was my preaching in the previous year that gave birth to Jesus Revelation Ministries. From 2014 until today, today is the 6th. Is it the 6th? What's today's date? 6th, yes. Today is the 6th of August, 2025. I can stand before you today and stand before God. Who can judge me at any time and condemn me if I am not telling the truth? That from 2024 until today, there is no woman who was or who is a member of our church to whom I proposed love and dated. No. Now, if you are a man now, this is not for you to answer unless you are a fool. It's a simple challenge which does not require us to fight. I told you how I met with the woman I was talking about. I didn't meet her and say to her, I want to propose love to you. I told you how it happened. Outside here, I have never met a girl or called a girl to say to her, I want to love you, I want to date you. In Jesus Revelation Ministries. Not since my wife died, since the beginning of Jesus Revelation Ministries. This does not require us to scream at each other about. Women can come out and say, he's lying. in this and that year, he dated me. It's simple, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I am not a rich person who can have money lying everywhere, that I can bribe every girl if I'm a womanizer that I've dated and says, keep quiet. No. It was difficult in my mind to call somebody who is saying, you are my mother, you are my preacher, you are my spiritual parent. And then I say to her, come, sit here. I want to propose love to you. It was difficult. Now, from what stretch of imagination do you consider that a man like me, after preaching here, and there is the congregation, on my way home, I pick a girl from my same congregation and go away to sleep with her? From what stretch of imagination do you draw? How is that possible for you? My wife, Rejoice Chiwenga, died on the 13th, right, of June 2019. From 2019 to 2023, when I met this woman, I was never in a relationship. I never dated anyone. But what happens is that when people are haters, hatred clouds your judgment until you start to be the devil's advocate. All right? Toda kutaura neshona mashoko andataura vamwe vanoti chirungu chinonetsa. Kubva pakatanga JRM musi wa 2 February 2014 kusvika nhasi Wednesday 6 August 2025. Handina mwana wesangano wandakasvitsa mashoko erudo ndikadanana naye. Hakuna. Kunze kwekunge vakafa pamongati Chiwenga akutaura iye zvinezvi, vasikana vacho vakashaya gore rakapera. Mavengerwa andakaita haasi ekuti zvinhu zvakadaro zvikaitika vanhu vese vari panyika ine vangandinzwire tsitsi kuti chiregai tinyarare. Zvochizotanga muna 2025 muno zvekuti I am not responsible, being accused clandestinely and not directly. Muri pano imi vanotenda vakambenge vachitenda nevachazotenda. I will call for a question and answer session after the Revelation gathering, where I will open the floor and open lines to those who want to accuse me publicly live on service, to ask me questions. It's easy. I must find an accuser who says he's lying. I was in Jesus' Revelation Ministries. He proposed love to me on 7 February or 17 September 2022. You understand? Handina mwana wesangano wandakambopfimba kubva JRM ichitanga ndikadanana naye kubva muna 2014 kusvika izvezvi. Iwe kana uripo uriwe musikana wacho wawana basa manherano, unogona kutoenda palive izvezvi sevhisi ine ichipera wototanga kuti baba vanonyepa. Ndakanga ndiri mwana wesangano paassembly yakati aya mameseji avo takadanana ngavadaire. When I go to interact with the youths, I go on organized conferences and organized congregations. I am not a youth pastor. I am not in charge of the youth. The youths that I interact with, boys and girls, most of them are youths that serve in various departments. Like in our media department, we have boys and girls. We relate, how are you, how are you? That's the end of it. It's a flood, it's a check, it's an open check. When I was coming to the studio, I wanted to offer some money and say, if you do this, I'll offer this money. And the Holy Spirit said, don't be a fool. So I can't be a fool, I was rebuked. I wanted to offer a car to a successful contestant in this regard.
We thank God for the rebuke.
Yes.
Andichiti ndakuvati anenge aburitsa umbowo kuti ndakadana naye daumpa mota. Ndobva ndaona kuti ndakusebera padhuze naChivayo. Ndoenda kunzi varida kukopa Chivayo, varida kubribe. Mumwe anobva atoti ibribe. You understand? You can never do enough to unbelievers. It will never be enough, Pastor. It will never be enough. Yes. You see? So, this is a challenge. Come up and say, Apostle Chiwenga proposed love. Even unsuccessfully, you know you can propose love and somebody will say no. Even to those who say, Apostle Chiwenga proposed love and I said no. Come out. Because I said I never proposed love. That means there is no chance that we dated because it begins with the proposals.
Yes.
Even vanoti ndakapfimbwa ndikaramba. You understand? Yes. My position is very clear. How do you feel when after you do a lot to control yourself, to manage your situation, respecting and honoring the burden that the Lord has placed upon you to be a shepherd? You meet one person, and in a space of less than 8 months, you start to hear that person declaring and taking an oath that they want to destroy you. How do you feel? So I want to say that there was a time when I would wake up in the morning in my Ashton Park house and I would find 2 cars from the state security parked at my gate. There was a time when I was living somewhere else and the security guards would say, there are cars here coming to ask if Apostle Chiwenga lives in that estate. When we were in Harare at 88, number 88, Bishop Mautsi can confirm this. Our telephone lines in our offices, particularly my office, was bugged by the government. I can't explain to you how we verified that. Fortunately, I had a friend who worked for Econet. One day, I lost my SIM card, and as usual, I would call him and say, I'm coming, because there used to be many queues there, and I would be very busy to stand in a queue. Calling in a favor, please, I'm coming. I want to replace my SIM card. Can you help me? Come straight to my desk. And he said to me, all your phones are bugged. I'm no longer working here in the customer service. I'm working in the engineering department. There is a list of names that come from the government that these numbers should be monitored. They intercepted my calls from 2017 So the guy said, I advise you to register your numbers in another person's name. That way it will take them time to figure out which number you are using. But he also suggested that every 3 to 4 months, I must replace that SIM card. And so that's how I lived when I was in Zimbabwe. In 2018, for 3 consecutive months, our son was just less than a year old, less than 6 months old. We didn't stay at home. We slept from one hotel to another hotel. In order for me to check into a hotel, I needed to send someone to check in with his own particulars, with his own credentials, so that my name does not appear in the client's register of that hotel. These are some of the evasive maneuvers that you learn in intelligence. How can you protect yourself from surveillance mechanisms? You are taught how to do those things to avoid being surveilled everywhere you go. There are prominent hotels in Harare where the State Security Department has a list of people. As soon as you check into that hotel, if your name is on that list, after checking into your room, the reception will call the CIO office. They have a 24-hour surveillance service, which always has somebody manning that office. Client number 44 is here. They don't mention your name. They already know what is client number 44 in their system. So in order for me to check into a hotel, I had to do that to save myself from being murdered. Do you know how Kuwaza, the chairperson of the State Procurement Board, died? Remember, he was also a board member of the RBZ Board of Directors. Go and find out. Do you know how Chiwenga Jokonya died? The former minister, Chiwenga Jokonya. Huh? Those who are in the government or who were in the government in that particular time, they were told that he overdosed himself with Viagra after having hired a prostitute. That was a lie. That was a lie. The Viagra story was a cover-up. Chiwenga Jokonya did not overdose himself with Viagra. It's a lie. Everybody who worked in the security system at that time knew that it's a lie. I won't talk about many other people. I'm just giving you an example of how people died in a hotel. Motera munofiwa. Motera. Motera unofa wena. Chiwenga Jokonya did not overdose himself with the Viagra. He was killed. He had crossed the boundary. We were there in the system. Don't ask me how do I know. Who are you to ask me that question? Are you a fool now? Are you a fool? Huh? How did Moveni Mahachi die? A road traffic accident along Mutare in Nyanga Road. At the time I was still in secondary school. But the file that exposed how it happened, I saw it on a desk. Go and ask the Moveni Mahachi family, who killed Moveni Mahachi's driver? Because the driver did not die in the accident. And eventually he was asked to come to court because it's a procedure, a standard procedure. When there is an accident, people die, you have to be charged with the culpable homicide. It's a procedure. It doesn't mean you are wrong. When he was appearing before the court, he told the prosecutor on the phone, I've decided to confess to what happened. On his way to court, he died. I'm talking about the things that are true. They killed their own. They killed their own people. What about Isuzu and Gonzo Mini? They killed their own people. They killed what?
Their own people.
They killed their own people. Ask how Tichaona Kwaza died. Really? Really? Such a prominent man. What a procurement scandal was he involved in? By the way, I knew Kwaza personally. He wasn't my friend. I knew him personally. There was a project in which I was involved, and we interacted here and there. So, why am I saying this? I'm trying to show you that a woman cannot destroy me. If there are people who are involved behind a back, they will find out. But remember, this assignment is not mine.
Yes.
I don't have to do a lot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
In the first accident, the Mashingo accident, a doctor hid me from the state security who wanted to finish me off. They came and said, did a patient come in here? They said, well, he didn't. It was the police who came later and found me. But the doctors were there and the matrons and the nurses, so the police wanted, I'm told I was off, I had passed out. They wanted to wake me up and speak to the police, and the doctor said, he can't speak, look at his condition. What statement can you get from such a person with such a swollen head? If a doctor whom I haven't met until now, because things happened fast, I wanted to go to Mashingo, sit down and thank him properly. I still pray to God for him that one day, if I manage to go home, I will visit him and honor him for saving my life. He literally saved my life. He treated me to make me stable enough to be transported from Mashingo to go to Harare. They wanted to hire a helicopter. There was no helicopter around. So they had to use an ambulance. So if we can have some people who are not believers, at least they are not our members,
Yes.
whom God can use to protect this church.
Yes. Yes.
You think with your walla walla mouth you can stop this church? Let's find out. Let's find out. In the book of Acts 28, I want to talk about the hired hooligans who hate Apostle Chiwenga so much that when they hear that something has happened to me, they run to the scene and say, where is his corpse? Then people say, well, he hasn't died yet. He has just announced that he is no longer married to that woman. And they say, so it's a divorce. Let's attack him on divorce. You go on Facebook, you go on Twitter, post as many stuff as you can in a day. Hired hooligans.